We do have a lone tornado warning right now. Again, this is Butler County. This does continue until 5 o'clock tonight. We'll do a zoom in on this storm. Let's go ahead and take radar full again. We'll kind of a street level view of exactly what's happening with the storm. We'll talk about the cities that'll be impacted and all of that. Thank you very much, guys. Again, here's that tornado warning. Does continue for Butler County until 5 o'clock. Right now, passing just likely to the southeast of Dumont. But again, you want to make sure you're in your tornado safe place as well. Lowest level of a house. If you're in a mobile home, it's a much better idea to get into a stronger structure or something like that, because that'll probably be a better place to go. Also, Allison, that's the next destination for this rotation in the storm as it continues to move off to the east here. What I do want to do now, pop up the velocity view. Again, we do see the spin in the storm. That's that rotation right here, just southwest of Allison. We'll do another measurement of the storm here, the wind speeds, rotating at 66 miles an hour. Storm does continue to rotate here. If we can go out, I don't know if meteorologist Nathan Santo-Domingo is monitoring, but if he can maybe just talk about exactly what he's seeing right now, what the storm looks like where he is, I'm going to go grab some information from the Weather Service. Nathan?
Hey, Nick, perfect timing here. We just got that alert on our phone, turning that off here real quick. We are making our way to the north on Highway 14. We're about to take a left turn here towards Kesley. And this should give us a pretty good vantage point. We do have some trees that we're kind of contending with here, so we'll hopefully get you some of those live pictures of this storm. I can't confirm it really quick. I couldn't really confirm. It did seem that there was at least a lowering with this storm just out to our west, and we should get a pretty good picture of it here out on this road. So we're looking pretty much right into the general direction of where that rotation is that meteorologist Nick Stewart is mentioning on the radar picture. And here we are. We just took that left turn here. I'll get you a street name here in just a second. This street is, let me see if I can get it to pop up on my map here. AT&T service out here is a little bit rough at times. I will be honest with you folks. But again, right now we're approaching this supercell, tornado warned supercell. The rotation is just off to the right of your screen, starting to get into the precipitation here just a little bit on this cell, but that should be pretty short-lived. We should be able to get into the dry slot of this storm here really quickly. A lot of dry air, or a lot of rain-free air, I should say, just to the south of that velocity couplet. So we're hoping that once we're able to kind of push through this, we should be able to get you guys a cleaner view and see if there is in fact a tornado in progress. So stand by on that. We'll of course have this feed up here. Nick, right now we'll send it back for the latest radar picture. Go ahead.
Right on. If you guys want to leave this double box for now, we have a live picture of this tornado warning. That's the best thing we can ask for, so we might as well leave it up. Again, I can kind of explain the radar situation. Here is that supercell right here, that hook echo right now, just north of Kesley, just south of Dumont. It is approaching Allison. Allison will be the next stop with this storm, as well as Butler Creek. This storm does continue to slowly move off to the east. Again, as you saw with Nathan's live shot there, there's a definite lowering with this storm. That's a pretty good indication that this storm is capable of producing a tornado at any given point. And what I also do want to pull up here is the velocity view. Again, this is the spin in the atmosphere of this storm. Pretty good couplet here showing up. Again, this is north of Kesley. This is going to be kind of approaching Butler Center. Butler Center, Allison, those are the next two areas that we really need to keep an eye on. That circulation crossing basically right over Hickory Avenue right now. This is south of Highway 3. So Highway 3, great shot there. You can see that if you want to take that full, that's that wall cloud in the storm. That's where that rotation may be. Again, that is the potential tornado area. We have a live view of it. It doesn't appear it's on the ground right now. But again, live video is more important than anything else that we can bring you right now. If you are just joining with us, this is the lone tornado warning in play for the time being. This is Butler County. This does continue until 5 o'clock tonight. Main areas impacted will be areas like Dumont, Allison, Butler Center, and Kesley. For the time being, we don't have any reports of this tornado actually on the ground, but looking at that live image, I've been storm chasing for more than a decade. That is a very ominous picture right there. That appears to be a pretty good wall cloud, and by good I mean strong wall cloud that may produce a tornado at any given point. Again, to reiterate, this does not include the cities of Applington, Parkersburg, or New Hartford. That area is not under the gun here. However, we are looking at areas like Allison over to Butler Center. That is where the storm is heading right now. Great shot there. You can see the big wall cloud there, but notice it's not connected to the ground. It doesn't appear to be a tornado in progress there, but that is very, very concerning. What I do want to pop up here is the gate-to-gate shear. Again, this is the rotation in the storm right now, 86 miles an hour, so it's strengthening again. So again, this could produce a tornado at any given point, and if it does, we have eyes on the storm, and we can tell you that as soon as it does. We're watching it very, very closely here. Again, we'll take a look at the radar view. Again, wow. Okay, so this is a significant supercell that's really starting to take shape here. A big hook echo here. Here's the updraft of the storm, and on the right side of your screen, you were looking at the wall cloud attributed with that storm. Again, that's your hook echo right here. You may have heavy rain and hail falling over towards Butler Center and Allison, but the tornado threat right now just south of Highway 3, crossing about Hickory Avenue right now. Again, there's a live picture from the Road Warrior. Doesn't appear to be on the ground at the moment, but that is a very concerning picture there. That's at least appears to be a rotating wall cloud. We're getting a nice live shot there. Nathan, if you're listening, if you can chime in to kind of just talk about what you're seeing right now, and if you can get us a better location of where you are. I think you're probably around Hickory Avenue would be my guess.
Yeah, that's about where we are. Hickory Avenue. We're on 270th, and again, cell phone service out here can sometimes be a little bit spotty. We've pulled over here to try and get, it's kind of sometimes hard to pick out when you're moving what exactly the details are on the cloud here. And again, this is looking off to the northwest. We're on 270th, and it appears to be just past J Avenue. So we're between J Avenue, if I can get the other street name. So 270th and J Avenue here in Butler County, about where we are. And this thing, it does appear to have some rotation to it. Definitely, I mean, you can tell this thing is hugging the ground. This is very close. I would not be surprised if maybe we get a funnel here, or even this could produce a tornado, hence why we do have the tornado warning here. And again, thankfully, this is in a remote area for the time being. The rotation looks to be strongest just to the north of Kesley, kind of along Mains Creek. And just between Mains Creek and Kesley here, and just to the north of, again, 270th Street here, we might have an attempt here at a little bit of a funnel. Let's see what this can do here. Nick, if you wanna leave this up and leave this while you have your radar up, I'm gonna take a step outside here really quick, just so I can get my own eyes on this to kind of see what it's doing. Nick, go ahead and throw it back to you.
All right, we'll leave the double box up. We want to keep the live picture up there. Again, what you're looking at there is a live view of this tornado warning for Butler County, which does continue until 5 o'clock tonight. I also am a bit wider. There's a bunch of tornado warnings just to the west and southwest of our area as well. And many of these tornado warnings have a history of producing tornadoes. You can kind of see all the little tornado icons there. Multiple tornadoes have been reported already. This storm up in Butler County is in the same environment. So there's really no reason why this storm may not produce a tornado. So what we're going to do here, we're going to pop up and just get a little bit closer to the storm right now. We're going to dance around just a little bit. I'm going to step off screen. I think my key's not working here. We're going to kind of keep an eye on this storm as we go forward. Again, we are watching the potential for the storm to produce a tornado. As of now, we don't have any confirmed reports with it, but things do look menacing. We now also have Weather First meteorologist Sarah Flynn in studio. We monitoring National Weather Service chat right now. What's kind of the latest there?
Yeah, as of right now, no confirmed reports. That one in Hamilton County, though, that's the one that we do know. You saw that turn pink just a few moments ago. I can kind of show you what's going on with that one, but that's the one that we know is on the ground right now near Sherman, or headed that way as we speak. Not quite in our area, but will be as it continues to push eastward. The one that we are focused on in our area right now, of course, is up in Butler County. That one does go as of right now for another about 12 minutes here. It likely or possibly will get extended, but what we're focused on here is the potential to see, again, that kind of hook, and we're starting to see that happen. We saw it before. You can kind of see the reds and the greens overlapping there just a little bit, but again, it's not the exact classic sign that we typically look for, that a tornado on the ground, but it is something that you should continue to take seriously out there. Nick, I think you have your graphics pulled up if you want to touch on that a little bit more.
Yeah, sure. Again, we're watching that area of rotation. Again, we can leave the double box up. We might as well have it. What we can tell you is we do have eyes on this storm. Weather first meteorologist Nathan Santo Domingo right under it right now. For the time being, the storm is definitely rotating on radar, and we can see it in live video as well. That storm has that structure, that striated wall cloud there. There definitely appears to be some rotation happening with that storm. Again, this is just south of Allison and north of Parkersburg. To reiterate, if you're in Applington, Parkersburg, or New Hartford, this warning does not include you. The warning is more for central Butler County. That's just south of Allison, and this does approach, if it does continue, they may extend this warning. Clarksville will be the next impact there. Way downstream is Waverly and Janesville, but we have quite a bit of time before it gets that way. Right now, the tornado warning only includes areas like Allison. So what I want to do here is pop up the radar view. There we go. We'll kind of pop up the kind of what you're more used to seeing, kind of the reflectivity view. And this is a very concerning image. Again, there's obviously a big, what we call hook echo here. That is your classic signature of a strong updraft and rotation with the storm. The inflow basically flying right up Highway 14 from Parkersburg, flying right up into the storm. It's warm, it's humid, there's a lot of instability. That's the fuel for the storm right now. You can see that big hook echo there. That is the concern with this storm. Again, this tornado warning does continue for another about 9 minutes or so for Butler County. It's possible this gets extended further eastward as well. On the right side of your screen, you are watching, we might as well take it up full if you can. This is a live picture from Weather First meteorologist Nathan Santo Domingo. He's live tracking that tornado warning storm right now. Again, this is Butler County. You can see some scary skies there. Definitely appears to be rotating. Definitely appears to be a wall cloud with this storm. I do think it looked stronger not too long ago than it does now, but that's still a very menacing image, especially when coupled with the radar picture. When you can kind of combine the best of both worlds, live radar and live video, you can really get a better picture of what's happening with the storm. Doesn't appear there's any tornado on the ground at the moment, but we are watching for the potential. Again, we've had multiple reports of tornadoes here in Iowa so far today. This event is really just beginning. What I wanted to pull up here is the watch warnings and advisories. What you're going to see is all in the yellow. That is that tornado watch. So I'm going to zoom out, kind of show you where we stand in terms of our viewing area. For the time being, those tornado watches does include Iowa County, Benton County, over to Tama County. We're in Blackhawk County, Buchanan County, over towards Butler County and Grundy County. That is where, again, those tornado watches do continue until 9 o'clock tonight. This event is just beginning. You can see those red polygons just to the west of Grundy County. There are more tornado warnings in progress, including reports of confirmed tornadoes. So these are not just warnings that are radar indicated or based on what the radar is seeing. We actually have reports of tornadoes in progress further off to our west. Our warning for Butler County is not that warning. For now, it's purely based on the rotation of the storm, based on what's happening with other storms in our area, as well as live pictures from what you see right now on the right side of your screen. Again, that is the storm right now in Butler County. So let's do a quick reset. We'll take a look at the more traditional radar view. And again, meteorologist Sarah Flynn is here. If you have anything, feel free to chime in. Let me know if you have anything you want to pass along. But again, the lone threat we have right now is that tornado warning in Butler County and then off to the west. If you're in Cedar Rapids, Iowa City, Washington, Dubuque, up to Decorah, for now, things are calm. Things are quiet. It's also warm and humid. We're not done with the severe weather threat today. The strong storm threat will continue through at least probably midnight tonight. The tornado threat will probably be over with by about 10, but the severe threat will continue for quite some time. All right, well, Nathan kind of repositions here. Let's go ahead and kind of do a reset on the radar view. Again, this is kind of what we're more typical seeing, the radar view, how much rain is falling, how heavy the rain is falling. What I want to do is get nice and tight with this storm once again. We're going to show you the polygon, talk about the threat for the storm, and they just issued a new tornado warning. So now this pushes into Bremer County as well. This new warning does continue until 5:30. So we have a new tornado warning. That means Live at 5 may not happen. We are watching this new tornado warning, which does continue here for Bremer and Butler counties. This now until 5:30. You can see a big hook echo there on radar. That is that potential tornado right here just southwest of Allison. This does continue to move off to the east. Meteorologist Sarah Flynn, if you can kind of give me a quick update on, I guess, what that new warning, maybe how fast the storm is going and some of the other places that might be impacted by it.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Nick. They did extend that warning again until 5:30 today. It does now engulf Butler and Bremer counties, still moving at a speed of about 30 or 40 miles per hour up to the northeast, a little bit more eastward now as well. Checking really quick how quickly it's moving, or yes, 30 miles per hour now. So I guess it's slowed down just slightly than before. Still no confirmation of this on the ground, though. It's simply based on that rotation. Other storms, as Nick has mentioned, towards the central portion of the state are confirmed. Seeing a lot of those pictures flood in over social media and seeing those videos. But here is the one that's currently in eastern Iowa that we are focused on for the time being out there as well. So timing this out for you again, moving eastward or northeastward into Bremer County. You can expect it to be near Allison in just moments here. It is almost right above you at this time. That's where meteorologist Nathan Santo Domingo is tracking this storm. You've been seeing that stream for quite a bit of time. Clarksville in a little bit longer, more of a rural jump there. But again, if it does continue to move into Bremer County, it will hit many of these locations. Getting towards Horton, Bremer, and that area, again, that's a little bit of a stretch. It does go until 5:30 p.m. But if you are in that polygon, be sure to take shelter. And now's a good time to remind you of where that safe space would be. We can track really if you're in, again, your home, you want to be in the most interior room at this time. If you do not have that, or you do not have a basement, that interior room oftentimes is going to be that hallway, and continuing in a most interior room, that hallway, oftentimes your bathroom, away from windows. You don't want to be on those outside walls. It's also important to do something to cover yourself with. In these situations, we oftentimes have flying debris and those types of things occurring. Having that mattress or blanket over you can serve as that extra protection, Nick. So right now, again, still not confirmed tornado on the ground for Butler and Bremer County, but something that we are continuing to track as that warning has now been extended until 5:30 p.m. with the potential for 1-inch hail right now.
All right, thank you very much, Sarah. And again, if we can double box whenever Nathan's back, we got live pictures of the storm on the right side of your screen. You're seeing a live picture. Weather First meteorologist Nathan Santo Domingo right under this storm right now. You can see there's no tornado occurring, but the skies are very scary. There's definitely rotation occurring with the storm, both aloft and as well very close to the ground. That wall cloud feature is definitely a concern as it is moving eastward through our area right now. We'll stay with the double box for now. What I do want to do real quick is, again, just jump into the, we'll zoom a little bit closer on the storm. We'll talk about kind of some of the more areas impacted. Right now, it's passing just south of Allison. If you are in Allison, you still want to make sure you're in your safe place, but it appears the tornado threat may pass just off to your south. Meanwhile, though, Clarksville, that'll be really the next town that may be impacted here. We have Shell Rock as it gets really close to Highway 218. Plainfield will be another place, and then Waverly and Janesville. Those are going to be at the very tail end of that warning as it does continue to move off to the east at about 30 miles an hour. What I do want to show again is the velocity view, the spin in the atmosphere, just how fast those raindrops are moving. And you can see it clear as day. There's a very clear indication of rotation here just southeast of Allison. It's riding along Highway 3 ever so slowly just south of Highway 3. I want to do a measurement on that wind speed. That looks pretty intense. Yeah, it's rotating at 84 miles an hour, which means the middle part of the storm, a few hundred to a few thousand feet up, is spinning pretty quickly. So there's definitely signs of rotation with this storm, and that is of concern. Let's go ahead and put the radar view back on. Again, this is what we're watching. Is that hook echo. That is of concern. Just passing south of Allison. So again, if you're in Clarksville, Shell Rock, Plainfield, Waverly, down to Janesville, you want to make sure you're getting into your safe place now. Interior room, if you have a basement, that's the best place to be. You want to make sure if you have anybody that may be driving, if you know anybody that may be traveling along Highway 218, that they're going north from the Cedar Falls Waterloo Metro, tell them to stop. You want to make sure they get south of Janesville. They don't want to go any farther north than Janesville. They're coming in from the north, perhaps Charles City, New Hampton. You want to make sure they stop before Plainfield, okay? So maybe just shoot them a text, let them know that this storm is of concern and that there is a tornado warning currently in progress. So I guess we're turning up here on 5 o'clock. I'm Weather First meteorologist Nick Stewart, live at 5 starting right about now. And the news is weather. We are watching tornado warnings as they move through eastern Iowa. We do have one lone tornado warning for the time being. This does include Butler and Bremer counties. This new warning does continue until 5:30 this evening. What I do want to do is draw kind of a cone. We know the storm is moving at about 30 miles an hour. Air circulation somewhere south of Allison. We'll move it off to the north here over the next, say, half hour. And just to get you some, approximate timings, it'll be just south of Clarksville, probably approaching Clarksville sometime within the next about 5 to 10 minutes. It's also going to be approaching areas like Shell Rock. Shell Rock by 5:17. Waverly, if it does continue, we'll be there around 5:27. We have a great picture there with Weather First meteorologist Nathan Santo Domingo. I don't know if we're going to be able to touch base with him right now. I'd love to get his input. That storm does appear to be intensifying once again. Looks like a pretty good inflow tail going into that storm. A sign it's intensifying. Would you say that is accurate, Nathan?
Yeah, I'd say that that's definitely the case. Also, it looks like it's starting to develop maybe a little bit of a hail core on the northeast side of it. Let's take a look outside the road warrior. And we kind of had to do a little bit of repositioning here because as we got closer to the river up there, that's the west fork of the Cedar River just off to our north. Here, let me reposition the camera here real quickly here. And just off to our north. So right now this is facing east and it's just off to our north. That's where we're seeing that lowering. Still nothing confirmed on the ground. It hasn't looked like we've got a really tight circulation near the surface. A lot of it seems to be in the kind of upper layers here, but you definitely see that lowering here. Hey, Mark, if you could just kind of take a pause really quickly here so the camera is a little more stable as I kind of zoom in on this. We're in a good spot with, again, not a whole lot out here. We're going to keep up with this because this is that lowering of that wall cloud here that you're seeing live here on Iowa's News Now. And this is that lowering that could produce a tornado really at any given time here. But again, off to our north, there's the river, lots of trees that was kind of getting in our way. So now we're going to head back to the east, follow this storm. And if we do see anything that looks imminent, any funnels, any circulation getting close to the ground, of course, we'll be sure to let you know. And we'll have that picture up here for you on Iowa's News Now. Nick, taking a latest look at the radar, what are things looking like right now?
Hey, right now we do have at least 3 tornado warnings that are beginning to kind of threaten our area. Obviously, the only one we're worried about for now, which is affecting our counties and our viewing area, is Butler and Bremer counties. That storm does continue until 5:30. Again, to reiterate, does not include Applington, Parkersburg, or New Hartford. We are watching these other tornado warnings. In fact, that purple polygon there, that means there was a confirmed tornado. So these storms do have a history of producing tornadoes in other parts of the state. So that's a pretty good indicator that the environment is ripe for the potential. We do have these tornado warnings just to the west of Grundy County, so these may be extended. So Parkersburg, you may not be out of the woods yet. It just depends on exactly how these storms form. You'll notice a difference, though. The storm up in our area for Bremer as well as Butler counties, it's more isolated, right? It's more by itself. Down to the southwest, it's more chaotic. There's a lot of storms kind of forming all at once. This tells me probably the strongest storm is actually in our viewing area right now. So that is of greatest concern. Again, this tornado warning does continue for Bremer and Butler counties until 5:30. You're taking a look at the live view on the right side of your screen. Again, that's from Weather First meteorologist Nathan Santo Domingo in the Road Warrior. We have eyes on this storm. The second it produces a tornado, if it does produce a tornado, you will know. Pass it along to your friends and family. Tune it, get them to watch us here. We do have a live picture of the storm. That's what we're watching right now. Again, we'll kind of take a look at the velocity view. We can stick with the double box. Again, we got live pictures. You might as well use them. But you can see there's definitely still strong indication of rotation there, just southeast of Allison, approaching Waverly. So I want to zoom in. I'll kind of get a closer view of this storm, kind of get more kind of street level mapping here, kind of show you some of the places impacted. Again, this is riding just along and south of Highway 3 as it's rolling into Waverly. So Waverly, this storm is definitely getting pretty close to you. You want to make sure you're in your safe place right now. You are under that tornado warning. Let's talk about just how fast the storm may be rotating. It looks like it might be kind of in a process of getting a little bit more organized, kind of weakened a little bit, maybe trying to get more organized. But with that said, the storm is still rotating at 60 miles an hour. So there's still pretty good rotation occurring in that storm right now. Weather First meteorologist, we have Sarah Flynn monitoring the National Weather Service chat. Do you have any kind of new updates coming in from either this storm or other storms here in the state of Iowa?
Yeah, we still don't have any updates about the one in eastern Iowa. Not confirmed that anything is on the ground from there, but you did mention that that rotation is getting stronger. At first, it was a little bit iffy. Now you can really see it very clearly. Again, we kind of look for those reds and greens to start mixing, moving towards and away from the radar. And when you kind of see those brighter greens show up, even those brighter reds there, it indicates that there is rotation. As Nathan has mentioned, it is a rotating wall cloud at this time. Nothing is on the ground, but still it is a tornado warning. And if you do remain in that polygon, be sure to get into that safe space. So right now, the heaviest rotation we're looking at, again, near Highway 3. Allison, you're kind of in the clear for now. Again, we still do have those storms far off to western Iowa. Waverly is really the next biggest town that it could impact if it continues to strengthen and develop. Again, we do have eyes on that with Nathan. A little bit to the north, and if it continues to push into Bremer County, we could see Highway 218 be impact, potentially Highway 63 continue to be impact if it continues to move that direction. But right now, it is still just a rotating wall cloud with no confirmation of a tornado being on the ground. But some of those off to the central portion of the region, we also have meteorologist Rebecca Kopelman here as well. Those are the ones that we're starting to see some of those being confirmed. We've seen tornadoes pop up throughout there. The one that you see near Sherman, the pink box or purple box, that is the confirmed one that we do have on the ground right now. Up to the north, the one near Iowa Falls into Hamilton and Hardin County, that one not confirmed quite yet. But again, the one that we're tracking here in eastern Iowa, that is the biggest threat for us right now, still radar indicated, goes for another about 20 to 25 minutes here in Butler and headed into Bremer, or in Bremer headed into Butler County. And that is the storm that you see right now. If Nathan can hear us, do you want to give us a quick update?
Hey Sarah, how's it going? Right now we just came to a little bit of a dead end, so we're going to cross the river here in a second, and you see all of those trees up here, so our view is going to be obstructed for the time being. But once we get on the other side of the trees here, we're pretty much just due to the southwest of the circulation. And my goodness, I mean, this thing has an impressive lowering. That is a massive wall cloud that you're seeing there behind the trees. We aren't close enough to see if there's any maybe funnels trying to circulate underneath it, or perhaps anything trying to reach the ground. But I mean, this is a large wall cloud, classic hook echo. Once we pass the river here, and Mark, you'll want to take a right on 265th Street. 265th Street, we're on Sinclair Avenue. We should come out on the other side of these trees here and get a better view of that, and we'll follow 265th here just for a while, coming out on the other side of the trees.
You can see we're losing picture there. A little bit of bad connectivity, a little bit of a more rural area. We try and get the best that we can with some of the river valleys and things, but that can be kind of rough. Had an idea here. Let's go. Yeah, radar views. Good stop. All right. So again, you're joining us right now at 5:07. You're watching Iowa's News Now at 5. The news is weather. We are tracking tornado warnings as they move through eastern Iowa. The lone tornado warning for our area is Butler and Bremer counties. That does continue until 5:30. What I do want to do now is take a wider view over eastern Iowa. For the time being, much of the area is actually quiet. There's not a lot happening for now, and that's, of course, good news. If you're down in Cedar Rapids, Iowa City, Washington, towards Dubuque, Manchester, Independence, Decorah, things are quiet for the time being. The lone issue for now is that tornado warning out there near Waverly. However, we also do have more tornado warnings off to our west. So we are really just beginning here in terms of the severe weather threat today. I want to pop up the watches, warnings, and advisories. Again, all of this yellow, this is that tornado watch, which does continue until 9 o'clock tonight. So we have a long way to go. And I do think there is room for reason that this may be extended further east as these storms continue to move off to the east. Maybe not so much a tornado threat as we head towards maybe 9, 10 o'clock, but potentially a damaging wind threat and a large hail threat. That's kind of when things may get a little bit more interesting later on tonight. So Cedar Rapids, for now, we're okay. Iowa City, for now, we're okay. But as we go through the latter part of the evening, that's when things might change. So you want to make sure you stay weather aware throughout the day. We're talking about the potential for severe weather pretty much all day long. So let's go ahead and look at, again, this is the raindrop view. This is what we're looking at in terms of what's happening on the radar. This is what you're more used to seeing. We do have that lone tornado warning for the time being up there northwest of Waterloo. So we'll kind of zoom in on it, kind of do some street level mapping with that tornado warning. Again, for the time being, it's starting to approach the city of Waverly. Just may pass north of Janesville, but if you're in Janesville, I want to make sure you're in a safe place as well. Waverly, it's getting very close to you. We can now give the all clear to Allison. Allison, no longer in the tornado warning. Right now, the area of interest will be just west of Shell Rock. It's kind of riding just south of and right along Highway 3. Here's Butler Center Road as it moves into Shell Rock. The area of rotation will be right about here, just west of Shell Rock. So again, Shell Rock and Waverly. Want to make sure you are in your safe place because it may not be producing a tornado right this moment, but many storms in Iowa have, and the ingredients are the same here as they are in northwestern and north central Iowa. So there remains the threat for severe weather. I want to pop up, again, the velocity view. This is how fast those raindrops are moving in the storm. That looks a little chaotic. We're probably dealing with some radar aliasing issues here. So we'll give it another scan. Well, hopefully that gets rectified. But again, what we're looking at here is definitely kind of that hook echo here. It doesn't look as intimidating as it did not too long ago. We're kind of losing that really evident hook echo, but it's still a very strong storm. Again, moving towards Shell Rock and Waverly. Weather First meteorologist Sarah Flynn is monitoring the National Weather Service chat. Do you have any reports coming in right now?
Yeah, no new news about that specific storm. Still just seeing that rotating wall cloud. We did lose Nathan there for a little bit, but he has vocalized over social media that it is still rotating and could potentially, again, drop that tornado. So if you do remain in portions of Butler and Bremer counties, again, make sure you're getting in your safe space. That is the most interior room of your home, away from windows, away from those outdoor walls, or in your basement. You want to be on the absolute lowest level. Even at this time, it's not the worst idea to throw on those shoes. Make sure you have something to cover your head, like a helmet or blankets, anything to protect you from potential flying debris. Although there is no confirmation that this storm is on the ground, it could easily drop a tornado here any minute. So be prepared until it is completely out of the region. Right now, again, it's past Allison. It's in the clear right now, and towards the central portion of the state, we are still tracking some of those tornadoes. I'm not sure if meteorologist Rebecca Kopelman has them up on Weather Scan.
I was going to say, if we have our Scan that we can go to, we have been getting some pictures and videos out of central Iowa, just off to our west, where there have been confirmed tornadoes. So that's why we are having this concern today for the severe weather, for that possibility of tornadoes in our area. So this is a video of one of the tornadoes in Lake City, Iowa. And this was a particularly large tornado. You can see on the ground there the debris getting kicked up as the funnel cloud touching down on the ground. And you can see some debris getting tossed around there. And this is from Brian Emfinger on Twitter. And there have been several images of this tornado, of multiple tornadoes now in the state. So that's why we continue to talk about this. Even if we haven't seen this tornado produce, we've seen these storms go from 0 to 100 very quickly. So you can see the tornado on the ground near Lake City. There's been some reports of damage, unfortunately, there too. And we, of course, don't want to see that happen here. But Nick, that's why we're going to continue to talk about this potential threat here with our storm.
Yeah, and again, the threat is real. We have seen tornadoes occur in eastern Iowa. And again, if we are keeping an eye on Nathan Sancho-Domingo, our Weather First meteorologist in the road warrior, he's still frozen. As soon as we get a live picture, we'll bring it back to you. He's with this storm right now.
Some lowering that he's seeing.
Okay, so apparently Nathan is saying, if you wanted to say it again.
He's saying there's possibly some lowering. He said possible tornado occurring.
Okay.
So if I don't know if we can want to see the velocity, see if anything's picked up there. But
okay, yeah. Yeah, we were kind of waiting for that velocity view get a little bit better. What you're looking at here, I mean, you can still see there's still some pretty good rotation occurring with the storm. It looks a little more messy than it did before, but the other thing to keep in mind is we're getting farther away from the radar. The radar here is over in Des Moines. So as we get farther and farther away, we really start losing the quality of radar imagery. So we start relying more on reports from storm spotters like Nathan out there in the field. Right now, this tornado, potential tornado, we're calling it a potential tornado based on what Nathan is seeing. This would be very close to Shell Rock and also moving very close to Waverly. So we're keeping a very close eye on this storm. Does continue tornado warning for Bremer and Butler County until 5:30. This rotation likely just along and south of Highway 3, likely crossing Highway 3 very close to Shell Rock right now. Pretty soon, this will be approaching Highway 218. We said it before, I'll say it again. If you know people, we're at 5 o'clock, people may be heading home from work. They're heading north from the Cedar Falls or Waterloo metros. Make sure they know what they're driving into. Get them to stop if they're heading north on 218 at Janesville. Do not let them go any farther north than Janesville. If you know people that may be coming south, say from Charles City or New Hampton, make them stop at Plainfield. Do not let them go south of Plainfield. It's gonna cross Highway 218. We're getting a live radar scan there, a new image. And you can see it's still a bit messy, but there's obviously some very strong returns going away from the radar here. So there's definitely some indication of rotation here. I do want to pop.
Picture back.
We do have Nathan's picture. Okay, let's go ahead and double box it. Yeah, okay.
He said there was some lifting, or it lifted some, but it's very close to the ground.
Yeah, that's obviously still a very ominous image with this storm. I mean, you can really see that big lowering towards the central part of the picture. That's the wall cloud. If we do have Nathan on the headset, I'd love to hear what he's got right now, kind of talk about what he's seeing. But again, that's obviously a very big concern. Go ahead, Nathan.
Hey, so yeah, we had it looked like what we had, and I'll flip back over, and Mark, you can go ahead and keep driving. We're okay to go here. It looked like there was a little bit of a funnel that was getting very close to the ground. Of course, with the hilly terrain out here, it can be a little bit deceiving to the eyes. So it was very close. I can't confirm that we had anything on the ground, but if it was pretty brief. So now we're going to continue here, pushing off to the east on 270th Street here. We're going to be approaching, let's see, where are we headed to? We're going to be just to the south of Shell Rock, headed towards Janesville here in just a little bit. So again, I don't think that there's anything currently ongoing. If that does change, of course, we will let you know. We'll send you back here into the studio, back to you guys, whoever wants to take it.
All right, if we can keep the double box up, beautiful. Thank you very much. I read my mind. We do want to keep the live picture. Again, what you're looking at here is a live view of this tornado warning. What we can tell you is that for now, there is no tornado in progress based on what we can see. However, what you can see from that picture is a big wall cloud. That's a big indication of rotation with the storm. It's also pretty low to the ground. It won't take a lot to get that to the ground to produce a tornado. Right now, that air circulation is passing basically on top of Shell Rock and it is approaching Waverly. Also, you might see the image freeze periodically here and there. We are entering some lower quality cell phone service, and that's how we get these images back. So bear with us if things may drop out here and there. But again, this circulation is approaching Waverly. Janesville, just on the south side of that warning. I would maybe get in your safe place just as a precaution. I think most of Janesville is out of the warning, but you may want to just play it safe. Again, Waverly, you're going to be next in line. It does appear with the latest image here, this hook is starting to get a little bit more pronounced. You can kind of see there's a little hole in the reflectivity here, indication of that rotation or that updraft in the storm. And then you have that hook echo here on the back side of that storm. Does appear to me that it may be intensifying again. That also looks more intimidating here on the velocity view. Again, we're seeing stronger velocities going away from the radar, which again is to the southwest towards Des Moines. And you do have those greens going towards the radar as well. So a bit of rotation here, very close to Shell Rock. Let's go ahead and get a quick measurement on it. That image does look pretty concerning there from Nathan. So we're going to keep a very close eye on that. If Nathan does have something, feel free to shout and we'll let you talk what you got. But right now, again, you can see the measurement of the rotation there is 72 miles an hour. So that might be, I believe, the strongest we've seen within the last at least half hour. So the storm does appear to be intensifying here. Again, this is approaching Waverly. Waverly is really the next town in progress. Let's take that video full. It kind of appears that that might be a tornado in progress. Yep. Nathan, take it away.
That's a tornado. That's a tornado. We have a tornado in progress right now, just to our north and west, approaching Waverly. If you want to relay this for me to the National Weather Service, we do have spotty cell phone connection here. This is a potentially strong tornado here on the ground. You can see, I know it's kind of hard here because we are moving, trying to keep up with this. You can see that circulation, though, clearly on the ground. We got, it looks like apparently multiple vortices trying to rotate around possibly a common center. It's not clear that we have a full condensation down to the ground, but it is definitely trying. We have a tornado in progress here, you guys, just approaching Waverly. Tornado, confirmed tornado on the ground right here on Iowa's News Now. Look at that. That is a very, very tight, strong circulation all the way down to the ground here, just, again, right approaching Waverly. We're perhaps maybe just a few miles to the south and west of Shell Rock, 270th Street here, approaching Janesville. And I want to keep this in mind. We do have, you're going to see it kind of fluctuate here in and out, but because it doesn't look like it's on the ground there as much, but it keeps coming right back to us. Nick, we're going to take a pause here really quick. A lot of traffic here coming up, and try and keep these pictures coming to you. Nick, back to you in the studio.
All right, fantastic. Thank you so much for that. Again, you're watching it live here on Iowa's News Now. Tornado in progress. This is that tornado warning, again, for Butler and Bremer counties. For the time being, Waverly, you need to be in your safe place. This tornado is confirmed. You're watching it live here on Iowa's News Now. Also downstream, we're going to have to keep a close eye on this storm as well. It continues to rotate. You can see in the picture that it's not sped up. You can actually see the cloud is rotating. A lot of rotation with this storm right now. So what I do want to do is kind of get a closer view, kind of show you some street level, exactly where we're looking at with this storm. That is some very intense rotation with this again. Right now, I would guess is very close to Shell Rock, approaching Waverly. Biggest area of concern looks to be about crossing or very near Highway 218, right near Highway 3. Just west of Waverly. So Waverly, you need to be in your safe place right now. You're watching a confirmed tornado approaching you at this hour. This is a tornado approaching the city of Waverly. That does include the Waverly Walmart there on the south side of town. You might know somebody might be shopping. Make sure they're getting into a safe place because this is a confirmed tornado heading in your direction. You're watching it live on Iowa's News Now. It appears it may have lifted, but what you're looking at there is very evident rotation. It's still very clearly rotating there in the atmosphere. Nathan, do you have any updates out on your end?
Yeah, so I know it can kind of be a little bit difficult to see on our feed here. I'm going to try and zoom in, and you can see that circulation is still on the ground. It is just very periodic here. Zooming in, you see that circulation very, very close there to the ground. I'll see if I can fix the aperture here just a little bit to kind of give you guys maybe a better look at this. Look at the motion on that. It looks like we do have debris flying through the air here. We do have pieces of debris, confirmed debris, flying through the air here with this tornado warned storm. So you don't see the classic condensation funnel. It's these little spin up vortices that keep spinning up here, picking up lofting debris. We have confirmed debris here on Iowa's News Now. This whole thing, this whole part of the cloud is rotating. I mean, that is the clearest picture, and a nice CG lightning strike there. Clearest picture of rotation that we have seen. Nick, you guys want to be getting street level view on this. Again, it looks like multiple vortices are on the ground at any given point here. We're going to continue here, pushing forward here and try and get a little bit closer. We're pretty safe distance, but Nick, take it over at the radar.
Real quick, can you tell me exactly where you are, kind of what intersection you might be at? That'd be kind of helpful.
We are at Temple Avenue and 270th. Temple Ave and 270th.
Okay, gotcha. And you're looking north, presumably, correct? Right into the core of that storm?
We are looking to the north and east.
Gotcha. All right. Thank you so much, Nathan. All right. So let's go ahead. We'll leave the live picture up. Might as well. Again, that's a stronger indication of rotation. You're watching the storm really rotate in real time. Pretty intense rotation occurring with that storm. That's a big lowering. We did see these funnels that reached all the way to the ground. We did see some indication of debris flying up as well. We don't have any reports of damage, but it's possible as the storm continues to approach. Again, right now, this is getting very, very close to Waverly. Waverly, you need to make sure you're in your safe place. If you're watching us on Facebook Live, take your phone with you. Make sure you get to your safe place. You can also watch us on the Iowa News Now app.
Observed tornado in Black Hawk County.
Okay, so let's go ahead. We'll do a zoom out.
For Black Hawk County, so it's been extended. Yes.
Gotcha. Okay, go ahead and just give me some of the, you can, Sarah, if you want to read some of the info on the warning there.
Yeah, sure. So now the tornado warning goes for Black Hawk, Bremer, and Butler until 6 p.m. So it has been extended a half hour there. Still moving a little bit faster now, moving east at 45 miles per hour. That's kind of how it's tracking, and it will continue to push into that region. So again, if you're in any of those counties in that polygon, be sure that you are taking cover. You saw those images from Nathan. That could drop a tornado at any time within seconds there as well. You can kind of see the radar pulling up behind me here. If we can take max 2 full and see what that looks like. Again, that's the storm that we are tracking, a severe thunderstorm tacking along with it. You can see again kind of the velocity there. You're seeing the reds and the greens moving towards and away from the radar. That's where that tornado is going to be as it continues to extend further into Black Hawk County. Right now it just says Bremer and Butler. It hasn't been updated yet, correct?
It doesn't look like
it. It will be updated here momentarily. And again, it does go until 6 p.m. So we're here for a little bit longer. And we're also seeing those storms off in the central portion of Iowa start to track into our region too. So we're kind of watching 2 select areas at this time. Again, that one that we are focused on is that confirmed tornado. Thank you to meteorologist Nathan Santo Domingo for tracking that. That is moving, again, has been extended now into Black Hawk, Bremer, and Butler counties. You can see that velocity right there. Again, a pretty strong what we call rotation or a couplet there that will continue to be a threat and really have the potential to drop down a tornado at any time. I think meteorologist Nick Stewart does have the reflectivity up if you want to give it a go.
Yeah, sure. Also, right in my mind again. Thank you very much. Double box there again. We're watching this storm live right now. That's what it looks like from the ground. We have weather first meteorologist Nathan Santo Domingo now fighting some trees, but he was able to confirm to us that there was a tornado in progress, and that's why the tornado warning is now what we call observed. If you're watching us from Cedar Rapids down to Iowa City, Manchester, over to Dubuque, for now, no threat to you immediately. But we are watching these storms slowly approach from the northwest and west. These will continue to move in our general direction as we go throughout the evening. So we do have a new tornado warning. I did just see that pop up with the very latest. Let's go ahead and zoom in here. That was kind of a no-brainer as we watched that unfold live. Again, here's that new tornado warning. If we can take radar full really briefly, just to kind of give everybody an update on what's happening with the new tornado warning. Again, this new tornado warning does include Waverly, Janesville, Denver, Chipotle. This continues to move off to the east. Again, that continues to ride right along State Highway 3. This is ever so slowly moving off to the east, about 30 miles an hour. Is that still 30? The speed
45.
there? 45 now, okay, so it's speeding up just a little bit. So let's go ahead and do a quick update on the actual speed of the storm to see how fast it's moving and kind of some of the areas impacted. We'll say 50 to be conservative. Right now it's probably right near Waverly. We'll take it off to the east. Again, these are some very rough timelines. So it is in Waverly pretty much right now. Denver by 5:35, Niddle by 5:39, Redland by about 5:41. Nathan looks like he has another tornado there. He's getting in line. Let's take that full. Appears to be a tornado in progress there. The image freeze. Okay, there we go. That appears to be
tornado in progress.
Yeah, go for it, Nathan.
Yeah, tornado still in progress. Lots of lightning with this as well. Again, the condensation not always making it to the ground, but visibly we can see that circulation all the way down to the ground. This is getting dangerously close. We are just to the south of Shell Rock. Just to the south of Shell Rock. This tornado is very, very close. If you are not already in Shell Rock, any areas downstream towards Waverly, you need to be in that safe place right now. It keeps lifting and then keeps producing, keeps lifting, keeps producing. Don't go outside and try to see this thing. We're in a very safe position right now. Get inside that safe zone right now. Again, we did have lofted debris for a time. It does look like that main condensation funnel has lifted for the time being. But again, these little vortices spinning around this massive wall cloud continue to touch down and spin along the ground. So continue to keep an eye on this. Lots of lightning as well. That's in danger in and of itself. So folks, head to that safe place right now. Nick, back to you at the radar.
All right, thank you, Nathan. Also, by the way, make sure you're recording on the road warrior. Make sure we have that the stream deck in there recording. Right now, again, we do have that tornado warning, which does continue for, this is northern Black Hawk County. Also is now moving into Bremer and Butler counties. So just the far eastern portions of that, and then moving into areas like Waverly over towards Redland. So you might be hearing sirens. You might be getting alerts to your phone if you're in the Waterloo area. You are not under a warning in Waterloo. Waterloo, you are A-OK. We'll kind of tune down here a little bit. Cedar Falls, you are fine as well. The Waterloo Metro is fine from the storm for the time being. However, the main severe threat is with this tornado warning. Again, you're watching a confirmed tornado. May have lifted now, but it's been popping up and down. Confirmed tornado now moving into more of our area, really. Again, Bremer, Butler, and Black Hawk counties. That tornado warning now continues until 6 o'clock. The other threat with this storm is some large hail, but really the main threat here is the tornado. We might see hail up to maybe $0.50 at largest, but again, the tornado threat is of most concern here. Appears to be very, very close to Waverly. So Janesville, again, it's getting very close to you as well. Janesville, make sure you're in your safe place. Waverly, that new direction, now moving a little bit more east-southeast. It's kind of breaking away from that outflow boundary. That will help it stay more discreet. So again, that's a concern here. Waverly, Janesville over to Redland. That storm does continue to move off to the east at 45 miles an hour, so it is picking up speed just a little bit there. Again, the right side of your screen, that is a live picture from Weather First meteorologist Nathan Santo Domingo. He's live in the Road Warrior tonight. He is tracking this storm. He's underneath this tornado warning here. Either Sarah or Rebecca, do you have any reports coming in or anything coming in from the Weather Service chat?